If you guys have a Gen 5 Glock, whether it's a 19, 45, 17, or 26, chances are you might want a compensator for it. Today we're gonna be showing you guys our brand new HG95V2 compensator and explaining what we did to this compensator to make it the best Gen 5 Glock comp that we currently offer. Before we talk about the history of this compensator, I kind of want to show you guys some of the highlights about it. One of them being actually that it is a set screw comp. So with set screws, it is easy to pull this compensator on and off for cleaning, or if you want to switch to a suppressor. This is a threaded barrel, 1/2x28, so you can run any suppressor you want into a Nielsen device. So it's quick and easy to switch over to a can, or if you want to pull this compensator off to deep clean your handgun. Secondly being the price. This compensator comes in at $94.99, which if you've ever looked into porting or proprietary compensator systems, they're a lot more money than that. So it's versatile and it comes in at a pretty good price point. So we've been designing Glock comps for a long time. It was actually the very first comp we designed. With 7 years of designing and changing, tweaking, we have landed on what I think is the best Glock comp that we've personally made. The 95V2 meshes our two best compensators, which are the HG9XL, the most effective Glock comp that we've made, and the HG95V1. The HG95V1 really took the aesthetic up a notch, adding fins, giving it a little bit better of a design. But we had to shrink the port size down because we did not want a super long compensator. What's so great about the HG9XL is it is a smaller compensator, but it has very aggressive side ports and a larger top port. So what we did is we combined the 95V1 and the 9XL to give you the new Gen 5 HG95V2. This compensator, as I mentioned, has the better port sizing of the 9XL with the aesthetic of the 95V1. We did change the aesthetic a little bit on this design to make it flow a little bit better with the gun. A Glock is really hard to design a compensator around and make it look good because the Glock is so plain, but we did our best, and I really like the design of the 95V2. I think aesthetically, it goes well with the Glock, and it's not overly long. A lot of times where you see really effective compensators, the compensators are incredibly long. On here, you can see it is shorter than an X300 on this Glock 19, and it is nearly the same size as a TLR-1 HL. So if you're comparing the length to a weapon light, which a lot of people do for concealed carry or duty use, it's gonna be about the same length as a TLR-1. The reason that the 9XL was more effective than the 95V1 is because the ports were a little bit larger, but also we have these very aggressive chamfers on the side ports. What that does is direct gases slightly backwards, reducing a lot of the in-the-hand felt recoil. This compensator has a slightly larger top port than the 95V1, so it is going to reduce that muzzle flip, but it also has large aggressive side ports, which reduces that in-the-hand felt recoil. Glock handguns are notoriously softer shooting handguns than most, so throwing a compensator on this gun really flattens it out even more and makes it a great competition setup. I personally carried this setup as a carry gun for quite a long time, so it's very versatile. The length makes it great for concealed carry, but the aggressiveness makes it great for competition. So I'm sure some of you guys are wondering, if the compensator is so aggressive, how does it fare with reliability? So at Herrington Arms, we take reliability as the #1 thing we focus on, and then we focus on effectiveness as #2. So when it comes to reliability, we never sacrificed any reliability to get more effectiveness, making this compensator very effective. We've tested it with a lot of different kinds of ammo, including duty carry ammo, and we've had great success. All of our compensators are made of 7075 aluminum and Type 3 anodized, so they are going to be built to last and be built to withstand pretty much anything you can throw at them. One thing I will not recommend is running that plated ammo. If you're running Blazer with any compensator or ported handgun, you are really setting yourself up for failure. So do not run that in these guns, but they are going to be able to withstand pretty much any other ammo you throw at this thing. When it comes to compatibility, this compensator only fits the Gen 5 Glocks in 9mm, so this is only gonna work with the 19, 45, 17, and 26, and 34. You cannot run this compensator on Gen 4 and below, and you can also not run this compensator on anything that is not 9mm. So keep that in mind when you're looking at the 95V2. If you're running an aftermarket slide with this compensator, make sure that it has the Gen 5 nose cuts here. If this does not have this, and it's an aftermarket slide, you will not be able to run the HG95V2 because these fins will hit the slide. What you'll have to do instead is buy the no-fin version. We made the no-fin version of the 95V2 for people that want to run the Gen 4 system or have an aftermarket Gen 5 slide. Both the HG9XL and the 95V2 are going to give you roughly a 36% reduction in muzzle flip, and even more recoil reduction will be felt in the hand because of these large side ports. If you're running this 95V2, chances are you're probably going to be running it in a holster. Just know when you buy this, an open front holster is going to be the move. It's just going to be a lot more simple for any setup. If you're going to be running a compensator, I think it's good practice to buy an open front holster. However, if you are running a closed front holster, you are going to want to scale that up dramatically. So if you're running a Glock 19, you would need a Glock 34 closed holster. If you're running a 17, this compensator is gonna be a little bit long to fit in a 34 holster, and I think the best route would be an open front holster. I personally like to use Tier 1 concealed for our holsters. We've run a lot of appendix rigs with them and OWB. It's really easy to get an open front holster. At the end of your order, you can type in the comments, hey, have a Herrington Arms HG95V2, please leave the front open, and they will do that for you. If you guys have any questions on holster fitment or about the 95V2, make sure you go over to Herrington Arms website, fill out a contact us form, or just email support@herringtonarms.com directly to answer some questions about the 95V2. If you guys like this kind of content, make sure you go over to the Herrington Arms main channel where we shoot guns like this all the time. And if you guys learned something, we'd appreciate it. Like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.